flex. The live is one in the six. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Absolutely. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the LDBC. We strong this Sunday. Come on in, like the video, hype the video, share the video. We had a wonderful night of boxing. We had a wonderful day of boxing. And happy Black History Month. We already got started right this year, but we'll get to that early February. But before I get started, it was just brought to my attention. All right, y'all come on in, smash the like button, share the video. I need y'all to pay attention. You see this young man right here on the screen? Demazian Van Houter. He just fought a little while ago. Stormy, bring us the news on this brother right here.
Demazian just fought on Zuffa Boxing. He's 21 years old. He's a 6'2" heavyweight that is in the midst of a growth spurt. They were talking about it. I didn't catch how small they said he was originally, but he done shot up, and now he's a heavyweight. But he is 10-0, now 11-0, and 21 years of age with 9 KOs, 77.5-inch reach. He's an orthodox fighter, and he's residing out of St. Petersburg, Florida, but he's from Albany, New York. I watched this kid, and you know how they say somebody put paws on somebody? The guy he was fighting, of course, this was like a fight for him, you know, staying busy and whatnot. But because he's on Zuffa, that means he's got a lot of dates ahead of him that he may be coming back. This was just a 3-round fight for him, so don't be surprised if he shows up on Zuffa 3 or Zuffa 4, because he's going to want to stay busy. But he looks good. He looks good. 10 fights in, I'm a little more impressed with what I'm seeing out of him than I told Drew than I am watching this other guy out of the UK, Moses Atuma. And they're about the same age. But this kid may be more youthful in his experiences, but boy, oh boy, if he gets the right type of coaching and training under his belt, I'm just telling you, keep your eyes out for this young kid right here. The Zuffa fight is currently going on right now on Paramount Plus. For those of you who have Paramount Plus, there's some very good fights set up for this evening. You got upcoming there's an upcoming super welterweight fight. Jaleel Hackett is on there. He's taking on Roberto Cruz Jr. He's you got Oscar Perez taking on Justin Villoria. And on the main feature card starting at 8 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. you guys' time, Radovic Kalajic is taking on Alexander Gavaskic. Co-main event is Sergey Bohachuk taking on Razab Butayev. That's the guy that I had told you that Boots needed to fight if he wanted to prove himself. But Razab has moved up to middleweight now. And he just he was at welterweight. He just moved right on up to middleweight. Right. So he's middleweight now, and Sergey is going to fight him. That is a fight of the year candidate right there between those two. And the main event is, of course, Razab Rayo, Jose Valenzuela taking on Diego Torres. And Torres is a knockout punching fighter. That's going to be a good fight too. So Zuffa is, man, let me tell you something.
Here we go. Zuffa's here, bro.
They may not have the biggest venue and everything, all of that right now, but they are putting on top-rated matches straight out of the gate, brother. Listen, I'm sitting here. I got it on. You understand? And I told Drew, I said, if we still on the air, when Bohachuk and Butayev come to the ring,
call
that over the air, because that's going to be a potential fight of the year candidate. I say potential because it could go one way or the other real quick, or it could just be one of those down and out, knockdown dragouts. So, damn, what a weekend
alive, y'all,
boxing, man! What a weekend of boxing. This has been incredible.
Boxing's alive. Boxing's alive. Boxing's alive. Boxing is more than just the guys that I talk about. Y'all say I love boxing, but Stormy puts out premieres Monday through Friday. You know, I'm a throwback. I come from looking forward to Friday night fights. The Spanish fight show that used to be on Telemundo or Galavision. You know what I'm saying? I go further back than that, watching fights on ABC, NBC, when it was Top Rank and Don King Promotions going head to head. And we're running from room to room. We had Channel 7 on in New York in the bedroom, and in the living room, we had it on Channel 2. No, I'm sorry, Channel 4, NBC. I love boxing. And believe it or not, it's coming back. If you're a casual, please don't talk to me about the Muhammad Ali Act. You can't even explain what it is and how it affects the fighters. So I don't care what Oscar De La Hoya is talking about. What we're getting here is action. And what we're getting here is fighters getting back to earning their stripes. If you want that Turkey Al-Sheikh money, prove your worth, test your mettle. Because the people that are in the limelight right now, they're lucky because they're in the midst of the transition and they were already in the limelight. But they're still going to have to earn their keep. But the guys up and coming now, what you're going to get is hungry fighters now. Like this young king right here. You see Miss Van Houten in the chat? I think that's his mommy. And his dad be in the chat too. They're going to be on the show soon.
Salute to the Van Houten family. Let me tell you something. This is the first time that I laid eyes on your son's fight. Let me say this. I have an eye, okay? And as I just said, as we're opening this up, I was more impressed in seeing him for the first time tonight than I have been watching several fights of Moses Atuma out of the UK, who seems to have a lot more hype and a lot more behind him right now with Queensberry Promotions. But at the same time, Damazian and Moses, they're around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
I just put it to it just like that. That's I know when I see somebody who got something. All that young man needs is, like I said, he got to have that good trainer behind him to teach him the aspects of what to be expecting as he grows, because he's gonna go through people fast.
Yeah,
he's gonna go through people fast, and you gotta keep his head on level.
Keep his head on level. Let the hype train develop, because I'm gonna let the Van Houten family know you ain't got to worry about the support. It's here already. Just off a general principle, all we recognize and talk about is the work. If he's not working, we're going to talk about it. But if he is working, we're going to talk about it. And he's a diamond in the rough right
Coach Hudson out there too. I would recommend Coach Hudson, please lay your eyes on these young fighters on Zuffa, because you will see exactly what I'm seeing. And it's going to make a difference, man. The days of that playing around, what we've been seeing out of Golden Boy and PBC and all of that stuff is dead.
Yep. The marketing schemes are over, y'all, right in front of your face. I don't care if this your favorite fighter is from your town, or you look like him, or you want to be him, or you want to sleep with him, whatever your deal is, he's going to have to earn his stripes. And that's all I'm saying. Show me the work. Show me the work. And so far, this young king right here, don't worry. Y'all just remember we said that. So now, with that being said, we had a pretty thorough night of boxing. So we have some things we want to discuss here. Let's just get the clown shit out the way. All right. What? Yeah, okay, Stormy. Your thoughts on Big Baby's toupee? Let's just get it out the way. Let's just get this out the way.
Man, this guy is one of the most embarrassing subjects that I've seen. You know, in the movie Life, they had that one kid that they referred to, played by Bokeem Woodbine. They called him Can't Get Right. He's the boxing heavyweight version of Can't Get Right.
Yeah.
And what happened with the hair unit and everything, it was hilarious, you know. But I'm a little bit beyond laughing and everything about it because I've had a chance to reflect, and I don't know that I don't want to see him anymore.
Salute, Miss Van Houter. We appreciate you. Yeah. Salute.
But yeah, I don't know that I want to see him anymore because, again, when I'm looking at like what I've seen this evening and everything and what's currently taking place, this is what I've always tuned into, not the shenanigans of guys like Jarrell Miller. He's got more lives than a cat, and they keep bringing him back.
Yeah.
Just, you know, but yeah, it was hilarious though. It was hilarious, the whole thing. And wouldn't you know that when he threw the piece out of the ring, it landed by truck, Fabio Wardley.
Yep.
And he became the laughing stock of the arena that evening.
Now look,
Sports Talk came on, Thomas from the Bronx came on the call in today after you, and he was saying that dude was like really embarrassed as the evening went on. You know, like after the fights and stuff, when he went back to the hotel because they was all at the same place, and he was even trying to go up the back way or whatever. He wasn't trying to go through the main entrances.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I heard that.
He was avoiding. But you know, if you got your head twisted on right, no pun intended, you wouldn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like my focus is on the real stuff, man.
Right.
And with this kind of shenanigans and even disappointment in Kingsley eBay, because he had an opportunity and he started off okay. Then he fell into this. I don't know if it was the distraction due to what happened with the, for lack of a better term, wardrobe malfunction or whatever, but he seemed to fall apart.
Yeah, he did.
The fight went on.
He did.
Just two big out of shape heavyweights. eBay was 280 something pounds, and this guy was 300 plus. So is that what I want to tune in to see? No. Thank goodness the Shakur fight was as good as it was, and Keyshawn's fight ended up being as good as it was. But these two, you know, later for them.
Salute, Mr. Van Houter. That's his dad right there. And they will be on next week. There it is.
Cool.
There it is.
See, I wasn't aware, Mr. Van Houter, that was you. I've seen you in my chat. I appreciate you supporting the show and the channel. But now that I know that that's you, it's like, hey, man, you know, feel free to pop in there. And if you got news to drop or whatever, feel free. And if I haven't rinsed you up over there, I'll definitely go back and rinse you up over there.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to speaking to you. And protect that king, man. Protect that king. We here for it. Yeah, my opinion is, let's get my personal bias out the way. Any fighter that comes out of New York, I automatically root for until they show me what kind of person they are. Now, I put the picture up a million times. When I told you I met Jarrell Miller at a Devin Haney fight a few years ago. And that was after he blew his opportunity with AJ. And I told him, I said, bro, come on. And he knew what I was talking about. He said, yo, I know, I'm going to get right. I said, all right, brother, we was rooting for you. I said, you saw what Andy did? That was supposed to be you. He said, I know. And I think he blew like an $8 million payday that night. And after that, he was barred from the sport for like 3 or 4 years. And again, I don't like AJ, his business moves, but I didn't want to see him die in the ring. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people saying, oh, well, he just had a little bit. Oh, well, this drug doesn't do this. It's just for track stars. No. If it's on the ban list, he's not supposed to be on it. We dapped it up. We took a picture. Later on that night, I saw online when I got home, he went up to Eddie Hearn and put his head on his shoulder to say, hey, take me back or whatever. What I will say is I'm disappointed because I expected better from him. He has the gift of gab. There's a market there. You know, he's a big dude from Brownsville, Brooklyn somewhere. And he has the gift of gab down. But when he's off the drugs, the talent doesn't match his demeanor and his persona. It doesn't match. So he's fallen short. And it's annoying at this point. He talks a lot. I just saw him on Instagram where they sounded off some heavyweights that he'd say he beat up. And he had something to say. You know, Deontay was on the list and he was very disrespectful, but that's what he does. But what was crazy was I still got Daniel Dubois fresh in my mind. I still don't have the answer as to why the Fabio Wardley fight fell through. I don't have an answer, and I was reporting on it. I reported that it was stopped, but I wasn't clear on what happened there. And Truck is in New York, well, probably gone now, but he was in New York. And now you're in the ring. All right. They say you have your weight under control. I listened to the commentator saying, well, 317, but he knows how to carry it. Let me explain something to you. The boy was tired. He just knows how to lug his weight around. Do y'all know Fabio Wardley would knock this dude out in 3 or 4 rounds? And that's probably the reason why that fight was discontinued. I heard there was something about the drug testing there. I don't know. But this guy has become the black butterbean. His place in this sport now, in his relationship with Ring, he's the guy they're going to throw in a card. And if he wins, he wins. But if they put him in there against a top caliber guy or a Van Houter up and coming, you know what's going to happen, right? He's the punching bag. He's the loudmouth. He's the punching bag. Because there was nothing menacing about him. He's the big bouncer at the club that looks real menacing, but you get him in a professional fight situation, he's going to get his ass kicked. Now, Kingsley, eBay, this guy's name is, he's another guy that didn't, I don't know what's going on with these guys. How is your cardio at a professional level? How's your cardio not under control? I'm looking at him. What he is a football player. As a matter of fact, they said he played football. Football players are the worst translations to boxing because their cardio is not under control. You know who are good boxers? Guys like soccer ball players, basketball players, distance runners, because the cardio's there. The second thing they got to learn how to do is breathe when they punch. I don't know how he ran out of gas. Maybe his weight is not supposed to be at 280. It's supposed to be like at 240. Jarrell would be a different fighter if he dropped all the way down to 250. This was absurd because Jarrell, both those guys are 6'4". So the cut to 250, you would see a visible difference. This brother right here was 280. If he was 240, you would see some abs. Jarrell's a bulky dude who lifts weights. I never understood how you weight train with bodybuilders, but then you're a boxer. I'm telling you, the two trainings contradict themselves. When I bodybuilt for 3 years and then got back in the boxing ring, I was tired. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, it's a difference. This was absurd. They shouldn't have aired this on the pay-per-view. This should have been a prelim for free. But if you aired this on the prelims, nobody would say, well, I got to look forward to a pay-per-view with guys like this on it. I don't want to see something like this again. All right. And then insult to injury, this thing happens with his damn hair. So I laughed hard, but when I thought about it, I said, man, this was kind of embarrassing for boxing. Can you imagine if this was your main event? This is embarrassing. So thank God that we got programs like Pro Box and Zuffa, and competition is healthy, ladies and gentlemen. And all I want is hungry fighters saying, nope, I want that position, I want that belt. Jockeying for position while fighting and doing it. And where this was a black eye to New York, I'm going to segue over to Shushu. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Because it was definitely Shoe York last night. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce Carrington. Thank you. He came out with MOP, y'all. He came out, if y'all know, y'all know. He came out with MOP, and I said, you got to win, bro. And Castro was not fucking around. That kid is dangerous. Where is he at? Storm. He's from Arizona. He's out of Arizona, of Mexican descent. That kid is tough. That's the kid that almost killed Cool Boy Steph. Knocked him on his ass. That kid could punch. He was in shape. He did not come to goof around. In fact, he buzzed Shushu early in the fight. And I was like, oh, no. Shushu showed such professionalism. He weathered that storm, and here's what I love. He was thinking in there. The young man was thinking, and he was watching. And when he got in the pocket with that power puncher, because Castro could take your head off, he threw combinations, and it worked. And not only did he get the drop, he stopped him. He stopped him. And I salute Castro, because I said, when I saw this fight signed, I said, yo, this ain't a gimme. This is not a gimme. I didn't like that. This is not a gimme. Thank you, Bruce Shushu Carrington. Maintain, stay in the gym. I'd like to see you move up, but that's just me. That's just me. And there's a reason why I'm saying that, but I'm going to give it to Stormy. But shout out to Bruce Shushu Carrington. You represented. You came out with MOP and caught the knockout in your city. Salute to you, brother. Thank you. What you got on that, Stormy?
Well, he came out very well in the fight. I didn't get a chance to see the knockout because, you know, I was part of a group that, you know, I was subjected to what they were showing, and they decided to move away from his fight to go and watch the co-main fight for Xander's fight. So he was doing very well up until the point where I think I saw him up until the 7th round, and I hear he got a 9th round stoppage. So yeah, good for him. I saw he got rocked with a good shot because Castro could punch, and he seemed to, you know, take that pretty well. But also, as I looked at how he got rocked, he got rocked because he's willing to take risks. He will step into the fray and do some things. He's not thinking safety first, but he's also not reckless. But it's a part of what transpires in boxing. Is like when you're trying to do some things, if the other person has the same type of intent, things will happen like that. It's just like when Castro dropped Cool Boy, you know. Cool Boy thought he was too cool, going in there being brave and brazen, and he got dropped. So Shushu not getting dropped, but just recognizing, wow, this guy can crack, so let me be a little more careful, and took the piss out of him, so to speak, and was able to turn things around and then later stop him. That's pretty darn good, because this was he challenging for a vacant world title, whereas Fulton was a former world titleist coming off of almost a year layoff and having gotten stopped for being disobedient in the fight that he got stopped against Monster Inoue, and Castro almost got him. In fact, I thought Castro still won the fight. Anyway,
yeah, me too.
They gave him the decision. So it really makes Shushu look even better, you know. Right. And I do believe that Shushu is a fighter that'll take the similar lead as to Shakur of being a student of the game, observing their potential opponents, watching what their strengths and weaknesses are, and training accordingly. I do believe, see, there's a part of a new generation, and I spoke of this, that will come to fruition, that some of these other guys who were there just to maintain or to see what they can get and see, you know, take the bag and run and all of that, those guys are being weeded out. And I knew that would be a natural transition, but it's being expedited because of what Turkey has done and what those who are operating with and collaborating with Turkey, and now Dana White is on the scene. So it's like playtime is over.
That's right. It's over.
Playtime is over, and the cream will rise to the top. Yep. I can't wait for the opportunities of guys like Frank Martin to get his just due and get his chances at opportunities where he's been kind of frozen out or being treated as the forgotten man and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Because if you notice, when they're talking about certain individuals, people like him get overlooked. And I'm telling you, nobody has done to Rances Bartholomew what he did to him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Frank Martin is here, and he is for real, and I want to see more of him. And these guys who ain't willing to step up need to step to the side.
That's right.
And this goes for those Russell brothers too.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All of them.
That's all I'm saying.
You guys can talk. Don't matter where you're from. It's where you're at. And where you happen to be presently, you'll be moved to the side as well.
Yep.
Because if anything y'all can do is blow hard, hot air. That's it. Because you're in a what have you done for me lately sport. And that's the sport of boxing. And all that bumping your gums don't mean nothing when you put that mouthpiece in there and you get in the ring and somebody can hit you right in it.
That's right. Now here's where we at.
On the merits of the fighters, what their accomplishments are, what we would like to see them do and achieve. This is no slight to any professional fighter that's out there trying to make some way for themselves in the sport. But for you guys that are pretenders, I wish you all a farewell.
Y'all been weeded out. Now here's where I'm at with this. I see the chat. I see a unfamiliar and some family. Look, if you pick Shakur to beat the world, I'm so cool with that. These are the conversations we're supposed to be having because these are the fights that can happen. Fair enough? What do I always say? I pick this fighter. You pick that fighter. What do I always say? Make the fight. Respectfully. All I say is I don't want to get into the nonsense and the back and forth and then get personal. No. All I'm saying is make the fights. Now, before I get to Shakur, I'm going to put this out there, and then I'm going to talk about the other fights before we spin the block and go back to the main event. Here's what I'm going to put out. I thought that the winner was going to call out Devin Haney. I said I'm rooting for Shakur. And I'm not the biggest Shakur fan, but I never said that kid was trash. He's one of the best pure boxers today. I said I'm rooting for Shakur. I said I hope he puts the beats on Teo, and he did just that. Shout out to him. I didn't trust Teofimo if he had beaten Shakur to call out Devin because he's been ducking him since birth. What did Shakur do after the fight? Who did he call up when he said, yo, I got someone to call into the ring? I say, here come Devin. Who comes in the fucking ring? Pause. Conor Ben. Why? Why? Let me be very clear for those of you who are confused. Y'all do know Devin is at 47. But I thought the condition was he's calling out Devin, so he's going up on 47. Conor Ben's at 47, and he's asking for a rehydration. He also said the same thing about Devin, which gives me reasonable cause to believe that Shakur, just hang out at 140 and dominate. Come to 147 when you're ready. But wait a minute. You look great. And you know who looked just as good as you in the co-main? Your brother. At 140. Keyshawn. He looked really good. But y'all brothers though, right? DB4, right? I'll come back to that. But think about that. Y'all running around. I see y'all in the chat talking about what you think Shakur do to Devin. Devin's at 47. Y'all still saying he too big. He was in attendance. Nobody called him out. Wait, I'm sorry. Keyshawn called him out at 140. He's at 140. What is going on here? We'll get back to that. But anyway, let's get to... I want to talk about Josh Kelly real quick. Josh Kelly beat the Boogeyman last night. Did y'all watch it? Diabolical behavior. I'm going to ask you, do me a favor, young brother. Stop typing in caps. Number one, please. Stop typing in caps. This isn't an argument because boxing is in a very good place. We should be celebrating the competition. All right? I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm pointing out a fact. And I'm asking questions. All right? So let's enjoy the moment. We had a brilliant night of boxing. I need you to stop typing in caps. Stop trying to engage in an argument. This ain't the place for you for that. So I'm asking you respectfully, young man, to stop doing that and follow what we're doing here. Okay? There's places you can go when you want to fuss and fight with people. This ain't the place for that. So please stop. Okay. Josh Kelly beat the Boogeyman. Did y'all know he fought Bakram last night? The guy that almost killed, well, he basically retired Tim Tszyu, in my opinion, because Tim Tszyu was never the same after that. The Russian Muslim, Josh Kelly showed a lot of grit. He showed a lot of heart. He showed some power. And he showed that he knew how to win. And he beat the Boogeyman last night at 54, y'all. He beat the Boogeyman at 54. I bet y'all didn't even watch it. Because on paper, you'd have thought Josh was going to get his head knocked off. But that man came in there, and he probably fought the best fight of his life.
Not only that, but he got in the ring with the guy. There have been so many people moving away from Murtazaliev. It's not even funny. And isn't the IBF the title belt that Boots had at 147?
Yes.
Why didn't he go? Why? I'm sure the IBF would have granted him the opportunity.
I don't think Eddie Hearn even knew that Josh Kelly was going to win that fight. So he didn't want to sacrifice Boots, but because there's more money in Boots. But Josh Kelly, it's like if he lose, so what? And he shocked the world.
Now watch him make the fight with Boots real quick with Josh Kelly.
See that? Salute to ATL Unanimous Boxing, gift and memberships, man. Salute to you, good brother. That's my brother right there. This is one of the brothers that came on the scene, loves the sport of boxing, talk boxing. He asked me, for some advice. I said I don't know much, but I'll help whatever way. And this brother has made his own way. At the meet and greet a couple of years back, met the brother face to face. Deontay was down there, and this is what we do here. We build relationships, man. This is a good brother. Go subscribe to ATL Unanimous Boxing and Sports, man. That's my brother right there. Salute to Jason Bourne in that super chat. He said, Dev is the devil, respectfully, and nobody wants it with him. Shakur calls out nobody. I'm done. Yo, look, man, we're going to get back to that. Salute to Josh Kelly, man. Salute to Josh Kelly, because I didn't see him winning that fight at all. I didn't see it. And I went back to watch it because I started seeing it online. I'm like, oh, he won. I said, how he won? Do you know he dropped Bakram with a power jab? Caught him going backwards, and Bakram got up, but he felt that. I saw his legs. I said, oh. Yeah. Now, he ran into some trouble. I forgot what round it was. He was dropped twice in that round. But that guy came back. Let me block this. I see the fools are out here this evening. This is ridiculous. Shout out to Josh Kelly. I don't have much to say about that, but I had to go back and watch the fight. And this is a guy with a loss on his record. So I think that he was pegged to lose that fight badly. Because Bakram they were painting him to be this Ivan Drago at 54. And nobody wanted to fight him. And Josh said, I'm your Huckleberry. And I love stories like this. So I salute Josh Kelly, man. He did a great thing. I don't know who else is talking about it, but maybe British channels. But I hope y'all understand that this was a solid win. It's a big win. So I want to make sure that I said this here. So now, speaking of 154, Xander Zayas. Did you watch that fight, Stormy?
I did.
All right, what were your thoughts on that fight? I watched it later.
Xander is a guy that I don't believe they're very confident in he being able to take. Maybe his chin might not be elite class yet. Maybe he's at a weight that is a little bit too small for him. Maybe he needs to be a middleweight. But I looked at how he blew up after the weigh-in. He was so much bigger than Baru. It was telling. But he was moving a lot and trying to hit and get out of the way at the same time. There were moments when he did sit down and try to punch with Baru, and that was when Baru was doing some good cooking. But he won decisively. I don't think it was a split decision. I thought that he won unanimously, and I thought that they gave him a split decision. It was going to be a decision in his favor anyway, but I felt that they were doing that simply because everything was stacked against Baru to begin with. Hometown, everything was kind of set up and laid, for Xander. But though he's a now unified belt holder, I think it could be very short-lived. And it'll really be short-lived when they start asking him to face other people. Because they picked Baru because they were very familiar with Baru. But there's a couple of other fighters out there that he could have faced, and they said no. So I heard they even, Thomas was telling me that they even offered him Giovanni Santillan, and he turned that down, even though Santillan is not the same fighter that he was before he fought Brian Norman Jr. So that's kind of interesting within itself. But yeah, I do believe that Xander he has titles now, but I still think he's like, I don't even think he's a contender level guy. I think he's still a prospect that has been given the opportunity for titles. It's like, in other words, the full development is not there yet for him.
Right.
There are things that he does that's good. There are things that he does that's shaky. And then in between, there's a lack of experience. And that could be a bad end for a guy that doesn't have it totally together. And he's gonna, as a title holder, he's gonna have to face some people because he's got titles.
So let me ask you, do you think I'm sorry, I'm starting a poll. Do you think he's being babied at that weight, or the work just didn't get to him yet?
No, I believe that like all the top ranked fighters, what happened is he was put in a position of showcase fights. See, showcase fights are the fights that they give you so you can look your best, you get stoppages, you build your record and things like that. Then there has to become the transition period where you fight fights, where you learn things. You learn how to do certain things. You learn how to go the distance. You learn how to deal with a guy that comes after you. You learn how to go after a guy that won't let you just knock him out because you got to go chase him down. It's different wrinkles to the pages but see, he skipped some steps and now he's got belts. You understand what I'm saying? So It's like, I don't know. I believe he's going to be one of the most vulnerable titleists out there because of what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
kind of hard to
can't gauge him really.
Me where I'm coming from with that, but that's just knowing experience. With guys, there's not a lot of that happening. They're trying to do it to a tumor. They're trying to get a title in his hand and everything, and the guy ain't never even been 10 rounds yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We haven't seen the best out of him. I don't know if he's just fighting, as we say, to his level of competition, where these are fights that we know he's going to win. We haven't seen him tested. I don't know how good he is. I don't. I would figure that Boots would smash the gas on him just to try and snatch the belt from him. Everybody was staying away from Bakram. And now, surprise, here comes Josh Kelly. So I don't know what people are doing. Maybe people on the inside see something in Xander Zayas that we're just not looking at. I don't know. But he's here. Solid win last night. Salute to him. Shout out to Puerto Rico. He's a huge Felix Trinidad supporter. I saw a video where Tito snuck up on him and he met him for the first time, and Xander started crying. So I can tell he's a student of the game. He was also a fan of the game. He was a big Tito Trinidad fan. And he's a good kid, man. He's a good kid. And Puerto Rico, they always fare well with their stars. Now, I'm going to tell you what's important to New York City. The weekend of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, they normally had a good or great Puerto Rican fighter fighting that Saturday before the Sunday of the parade. Felix Trinidad used to light this city up. Miguel Cotto, not as electric, but they came out to support Miguel.
Hey, let me ask you something. This guy, is that one of your regulars?
Who?
That last comment there.
Party blogger?
Yeah.
No.
Because he's spamming. He's spamming the chat. He's looking for a response. But,
All right.
We're talking boxing here, man.
Right. And look, I know the fans are going to come out. That's fine. This is not the place to engage and get into arguments. I'm just going to block you if you're doing that. I'm about to get to Shakur. There's a poll in there, and we can have an educated conversation about boxing. I don't mind you being fanatics of a fighter, but we're having a conversation here. I want to get away from that. There's places you can go for that. This is boxing. I don't care if you're a fan of whoever. All right? But we're talking boxing here. You don't have to spam my chat and be disrespectful. Don't do that. Now, back to my point. I like it when there's a Puerto Rican fighter. You know, Edgar Berlanga tried to be that guy, but in his division, unfortunately for him, the talent didn't match what he was putting out.
And understand, all those knockouts, all those first round knockouts, what was it, 15 or 16 of them?
In a row.
It didn't apply to nothing, did it?
It didn't mean anything.
Once he started fighting guys who could take him rounds, he got exposed as being not all of that.
Yeah, he started biting people on the neck. Literally, I'm not making that up.
And that's what I'm talking about. The being, you know, once a fighter has shown me, you know, you put your fighter out there, he's showing you that he can knock people out, meaning that when he hits them, something happens, right? Once you get to that point, then you move to that next stage, that next level.
Right.
And that's where they have to be able to show you that they can think in there, they can respond, They can be defensive, that, you know, and you go from there and there and there. If you are skipping the lessons, it could all come crashing down at the biggest moment. You know what I mean? And you don't want that. You don't want that.
Right. That's why it didn't work out for him. I'm sure if he was winning still and he showed an IQ, my brother Iraq, salute, he'd probably be in the mix for that next spot. But no. I've seen the audience for Xander Zayas, and they're bubbling for him. And as a New Yorker, I wouldn't mind seeing him get a hold of that audience. TD Harden, that super chat salute. He says, jab, jab, jab. Yeah. Well, let's get to it. Salute to Xander Zayas, and good luck to you. But it's still shark infested, so it's sink or swim. And I want you guys to understand this is a very exciting time for boxing because your favorite fighter is surrounded by contemporaries from 35, damn it, all the way up to like 68. Your favorite fighter is surrounded by contemporaries. There's no excuse for your favorite fighter not to fight somebody along their line. So now let's get to the main event of the night. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevens. Mr. Ishmael, salute. Listen, man, I really did think that Tia would have some spots. I did think that Tia would win at least 3 or 4 rounds. I didn't like Shakur's energy at first because I'm like, man, I hope he's not getting caught up in the moment because Tio could punch. You know what I found out last night? Going up in weight, Tio's power doesn't translate at all. Ain't nobody scared of him. You know what I always knew? If you have better footwork than Tio, he's food. He's styled on Josh Taylor because Josh Taylor is a plotter. He don't have footwork. Everybody that can move and outmove Tio.
So is Arnold Barbosa Jr.
Yeah. Tio's been food. He's been food. And I'm being diplomatic today. Tomorrow morning, I'm dragging him. I'm clowning him tomorrow. But this effing guy, man, this guy, this is what all this ducking was about. While calling people monkeys and stuff. This is what the ducking was about. Listen, man, Shakur is one of the best pure boxers that we've seen today. One of the best. Notice I never called him boring. ESPN did. Tim Bradley did. But who the hell listens to them, right? What did Drew always say about Shakur? I don't have to watch. I don't have to like his business moves. How many times you heard me say he's trash, though? I never said it. What did I say when he fought Edmund De Los Santos? I said, look, that's Edwin's fault. He can't cut off the ring and stop Shakur from doing what he's doing. That's what I said. Don't blame Shakur for that. What did I say when he laid on the ropes with Zepeda? I said, okay, you proved the point that you was a dog. You let that man hit you. Great. Don't ever do that shit again, young man. You always fight your fight. I don't care about these people. You shouldn't care because these people don't care about you. That's what I said about Shakur. My only beef with Shakur was at 35, he was supposed to take that 25% to fight Devin because Devin was drained. Because what did I say? That was a winnable fight for him. Did I not say that? Hey, Shakur fans, I was actually thinking, I was sticking up for you. I said it was a winnable fight. Hey, he's drained. Shakur could box. He ain't knocking nobody out, but Shakur could box. That's a winnable fight. I didn't like that fight for Devin because he was going to be drained. Shakur said no, which made me wonder, why is he saying no when he was getting what he asked for? The money? Devin took short money 2 times to get undisputed. What happened? So I looked at Shakur a little funky, but that's over with now. Devin's at 147. He went to 140, got a belt. Went to 47, got a belt. Shakur went to 40. After Mellow Yellow ducks him, he goes to 40. Teofimo goes to 40. Teofimo's power doesn't translate. The footwork is not as good as the black fighters he doesn't like. And what I saw last night was an absolute smoke session. Shakur he may as well have been fighting while smoking a cigar, bro. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Shakur smoked this dude. Teo cut so easy. Man, when I was talking to him, I thought he got cut. When I was talking to him. Hey, man, Teo, man, was this your plan to spin the block and fight Shakur and then spin the block and fight Devin? He said it has more motion, right? I thought he got cut when I asked him that question. His eye looked like the bloody snatch that birthed him. Where's my goddamn gunshot? Where is it? I can never find my... Where's my blaster at?
Take that!
I don't like this kid. And he said something funky after the fight, too. More on that tomorrow. Snaggletooth, Fang Face. Y'all remember Fang Face? Who's my age? Who remembers Fang Face? Yeah. Shakur smoked this dude. It wasn't even close. It wasn't. I thought he was going to land something. No. No. Shakur smoked this dude. And now I hope y'all see it's not only Shakur. Yo, Teal's a... Yo, listen, everybody black is a bad man unless they're African because they fight in a different style. Any black American is a bad matchup for Teofimo Lopez. Where's the lie? Man, he'll get in there with a small ass, I don't know who. Oh, Cool Boy Steph. And won't be able to touch him. Oh, Shocky Forcer knocks his ass out. Devin knocks his ass out. If Shakur 1 or 2 last night, at the end of round 11, I think he could have smashed the gas on him and put him on his ass. Because by round 5, this dude, yo, listen, all right. Y'all know I'm big on corner work, right? Y'all know I'm real big on corner work. Did you hear Teo Sr.? Where was the instruction? I unmuted the TV. I unmuted the TV to listen. And all I heard was a coked up, drunk, partially intoxicated father giving the absolute worst advice to his son. At least when I watched Felix Trinidad fight and his pops was there, I didn't understand a fucking word, but he was giving him instruction and then slapped him twice. Bop, bop, wake up. And Tito performed. I didn't see that with this dude wearing a goddamn jacket with graffiti on the back of it. You gotta be kidding me. Teofimo Lopez is overhyped. He had some talent, but he's overhyped. And now you see what all the ducking while calling people monkeys was about. Now you see why he was able to he tried the G Triller. Remember that Triller? We got J-Lo. Remember all of that? Oh, I never made $1 million. Here come Turkey Al-Sheikh. I got 11 million for you to fight Devin. He said, "No, I don't want that fight." Remember Turkey tried to make him versus Keyshawn? No, I don't want that fight. I want the Boots fight first. Oh, wait, hold on. You wanted a Bud Crawford fight? You know what that was? That was a suicide mission. Which I don't know is that this kid is suicidal. Okay? That was a suicide mission. He literally wanted to crash his plane into a boat while trying to sink it. If he's going to cash out, what he wanted to do was fight Bud, get beat up, and say, "Hey, I made 10 million. Until Turkey said, "I got 11 for you to fight Devin." This kid can't fathom to lose to a black man. Well, you lost to a Black Arican. That's what Shakur says he is, but whatever. But Tio, you're good against lesser competition that you can outwork as far as footwork is concerned. When it comes to the Black American fighters, I'm just going to say it. You can't touch him, bro. You can't touch him. And still, last night you got off light because Shakur's not the type to try and smash the gas and get you out of there. But you said at the end of the fight, you're going to 47. I'm telling you right now, if this motherfucker goes to 47, the first person I want him to fight is Brian Norman Jr. He's dead.
There you go.
He's dead. Tio's dead. Go to 47. Let that be your first fight at 47. I'm telling you right now, Tio ain't going to make it. We're going to have an accident in the ring. I'm letting you know that right now. That's a great comeback fight for Brian Norman Jr. And that's a great fight for Tio to say, "Look, I've arrived. And don't think I'm picking on him because let me take it back to 80? In Madison Square Garden, Roberto Duran, right? And this is after the No Mas. Roberto Duran came to, who'd he fight, Stormy, at MSG? The black kid. What was his name? Damn it, I can't think of his name.
Oh, you talking about, damn.
I'll find it right now. Come on. Roberto Duran. Let's see. I'll find it right now. Davey Moore.
Moore, yeah.
Davey Moore.
I was drawing the blank.
Yeah, I'll draw the blank. Davey Moore. Thank you, y'all. Davey Moore. Davey Moore was up and coming. And by the time No Mas happened, Roberto Duran was not picked to win that fight. That's what I was told. I was a kid when that fight happened. And he went in there, and Roberto Duran put the beats on him. And the Panamanians in my city went nuts. They said, "All right, Duran never left. He just had a bad style matchup." So don't think I'm picking on Teofimo saying, "Hey, man, go up to 47 and fight Brian Norman." No, do it. That's how you make a statement, right?
The fact of the matter is he ran away from 135 because it was getting hot there.
Yep.
If you look at him, dude, he looked like he can make 135. All it takes is a weight cut for him. He's walking around probably at 152 pounds or something like that. Because he doesn't get out of shape.
Right. Right.
So he's been staying away from where the heat is. Everybody at 135 has been, you know, including Tank, has been a tough call for him. It just so happens that two guys have moved up from the weight, and that's been Shakur and, of course, Devin. Lomachenko retired, and then now you got other guys that are a threat around there. You got Oshaki coming up. You got, you know, it's like he tried to stay away from the heat. That's all. And at 140, nobody was fighting each other.
That's right.
And Dev just made 140 a stop-off point. He went right to 147. So Tio don't fool me. He wouldn't fight Catterall, and Catterall beat Josh Taylor, but he'd rather fight the faded Josh Taylor than Catterall. So Catterall went on and moved up to 147.
That's right.
So when you think about it, it's like it's calculated. It's like, man, people who follow the sport, they don't look at it like we look at it because we do this. It's like, you know, me, you, the rest of the brothers in the community, we're looking at the ratings, we're looking at the rankings, we're looking at who's making deals behind the scenes to be able to leapfrog over a ranked contender so they could get the next title shot. All these different things that the casuals, they don't really know. Plus, we have an ear to the ground with people who tell us stuff,
right,
that are directly involved in the sport. You know, but Tio has lasted how many years now since losing to Kambosos, and should have a couple of more losses on his record.
That's right.
He should have the loss with Sandor Martin on his record.
I think the Japanese dude beat him too.
And Nakatani. Yeah, I mean, this you know, we've literally watched these things happen.
You know, I tried to support Tio until he started, you know, revealing himself to be an absolute dick. But what better way, because he lost after midnight, what better way to celebrate Black History Month but with a Teofimo Lopez loss? And I'll be clowning him tomorrow. So that's all good. Boxing Fan times 4 in that super chat salute. He says, now you see why Henry got so emotional. Hey, look, man. You know, I'll wait till we get closer to that other fight. But Tio got exactly what he deserved. And the best part about it is there was no controversy. And he tried really hard. I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. That's what he's singing now. And he said he's going to 47. Please do. I put a poll on all 3 of my channels. My brother BFTB in the building. Salute. Put a poll in the channel. I'm gonna stop it right now. Let's see what y'all said. End poll. It says 65% of you want Shakur to fight Devin next. 25% says Keyshawn. 10% of you says Conor Ben. Here's the problem. Y'all ready? Here's the problem. I know y'all want Devin. Y'all do know Devin was there, right? He was in New York. He was there. Everyone was there. Why did Shakur call Conor Ben in the fucking ring, Ben?
Whoa!
I know you want to see your boy Shakur fight Devin. I want that fight too. But why is he calling Conor Ben looking like Cisco singing the thong song into the goddamn ring? And he's at 47. Did he not fight at 140 just now? Do y'all want to talk to me about weight clauses? And this is what makes me sick with Shakur. That's what gets me annoyed. Why does Devin need a goddamn weight clause, a rehydration clause with Devin? Why? Why does he need that? And then he goes to Conor Benn and says the same thing. Wait, bro, how about this? Until you can properly grow into 140 and compete without saying shit like that, just dominate 140. Now, the two best fighters on the cards last night, actually all of the winners, Shushu was brilliant. Keyshawn was brilliant because I thought that fight was going to be a lot closer with Ortiz. Keyshawn smoked Ortiz. He did. But Keyshawn looked great, and so did Shakur. That's the fight right there. I don't want to hear this brother shit. Y'all need to help each other eat. It's DB3, not DB3 plus 1. Hell out of here. The Funky 4 plus 1. Get out of here. They need to be scrapping. They need to be scrapping. Hold on. Richardson Hitchens, anybody? Anyone? Anyone? Richardson Hitchens? Anyone? See, y'all Shakur fans, and every fighter's entitled to fans. I know y'all want Devin Haney. I know y'all do. But y'all do know that y'all favorite guy is not fighting at that division, right? So unless he's willing to go to 47 and not put on any weight restrictions, no, I'm not hearing that. I don't hear Devin saying that. He goes to the weight and he fights. As a matter of fact, when he was at a weight and his opponent, Ryan Garcia, couldn't make the weight, they had to restructure the contract the day before the fight so that the fight could happen. That's what I see Devin doing. I don't see Devin complaining about fighters being bigger than him. I don't see Devin complaining about him having to make 35, looking like Skeletor in the face on the goddamn scales. Y'all are very inconsistent. Y'all are very inconsistent. So right now, Shakur is at 140, and so is Keyshawn, and both of them looked magnificent. That should be the next fight. If they're not fighting each other, they need to. Listen, I had the camera up. I watched Keyshawn and Richardson Hitchens argue for damn near 15 minutes. I sat there with my phone out. And I'm like, are they going to fight or what? When I asked Keyshawn, the kid lied to me. I played it for y'all. The kid lied to me. I said, what happened with you on the 31st between you and Richardson Hitchens? What happened? And what did he tell me? I'm not online like that. I don't know what's going on. I said, all right. I go to talk to Eddie Hearn. Then I go talk to Teo. They shut that down because they ain't like I said, I was talking to him and his eyes start swelling. And then Richardson Hitchens shows up. I said, oh, look at Africa. I heard him say Devin Haney's name. I said, he always talking. So then Keyshawn comes back. He looks at me and says, oh, nah, chill. I'm like, chill what? Eddie Hearn walks over. He says, yeah, this was supposed to be the co-main event on the 31st. And I said, I just asked this little nigga this. Why y'all got to lie to me for? Chat, am I lying on that? Am I lying on that? Kid lied to me. And they sat there and trash talk. So if Keyshawn and Shakur aren't fighting each other at 140, then somebody need to get Richardson Hitchens at 140. Leave Devin alone and leave Conor Benn alone. You know why? They are welterweights. The rest of you guys are junior welterweights. If you're not going to the full 47, shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, I need y'all to listen to me very carefully. At the end of the day, you motherfuckers had an opportunity to fight Devin when he was at his worst. And you didn't do it. When he was at 35, he was dehydrated and he was trying to give out the smoke. And all you niggas said no. Devin's moved on. He's doing bigger and better things. He's moved on. So unless you come into his weight class, have a nice hot cup of shut the fuck up. Let me try and find this video for y'all. For y'all newcomers, y'all think I'm bullshitting. Hold me down, Stormy. I'm gonna go look for this real quick.
Yeah. Listen, the movement is on. Keyshawn, as I had heard it said earlier, I think even Champ Side shared the same sentiment. We might be able to bully Keyshawn into saying that he'll fight Shakur because he's trying to make his way, but I do believe that at the end of the day, he'll do it. He'll take the fight.
Yeah.
It's Shakur. Because Shakur wants to be able to dictate what makes him great. You can't do that in the sport of boxing. You have to face certain individuals. Remember, when Evander Holyfield had become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world by knocking out Buster Douglas in 3 rounds, I forget what it is now. But anyway, the people were like, yeah, but you didn't beat Mike Tyson. You know, then he fought and beat George Foreman in his first title defense. They was like, yeah, but you didn't beat Mike Tyson. Then he fought and he beat Burt Cooper. And people was like, yeah, but that wasn't Mike Tyson. And then he fought Riddick Bowe. And that was a knockdown, drag out. Bowe ended up winning the fight from Holyfield. And people said, well, Bowe is the new heavyweight champion, but I got to give Holyfield his respect because he fought a young, big, strong heavyweight in Bowe. And he proved that, you know, he for real, you know. So basically, you still have to fight certain people to really win over the sentiment of the public, you know.
That's right.
And we ain't talking about the experts. We're talking about the general public, because if you're as good as you say you think you are, because remember I say think you are, then you should be able to get in there with whomever, right?
That's right.
So in his mind, he's, you know, the best fighter in boxing. Well, prove it to us. Fight the best in boxing. Now, let's pump the brakes a little bit right here. I'm going to say something that's going to make some people angry. Good. In my Palpatine voice. He only beat Teo, guys.
That's it. Teo been beaten before, y'all.
He only beat Teo. Teo was supposed to get beat by whichever monkey got the banana, huh? Right. And I'll tell you why. For that statement and remark alone. For some of that other stuff he was doing. Sending the watermelon and stuff to the press conference for those fighters. You know, all of that kind of stuff. Saying those derogatory remarks and everything. He deserved to have Tim's shoved deep in his butt. But it was only Teo. The same guy who didn't want to fight any of the dudes that were at 135. He didn't even want to fight Tank, which was a fight he possibly could have got because he fit Tank's description. Yeah. You know, he was just the prototype of what Tank was fighting at the time.
Yep.
But he didn't push for it.
Nope.
So this was a genius checker move by Shakur and his team. Now, there are other fighters. Let's see Shakur finally get that fight with certain individuals like Young Ali, huh? How about that dude?
Frank Martin.
Abdullah Mason.
Hello.
Yeah, let's see him. But he's supposed to be the best in the sport, right? So this is what we need. Let's see Shakur make a list like Devin did. Not because Devin did, but because we want you to show us your intent, who you would like to see, how you would like to see it come about. Let's see that put in. When I saw Ben get in the ring with him, I just saw Boots and Ortiz all over again.
All over again, man. All over again.
Something that ain't gonna happen. And funny, Ed Hearn was a part of that too, wasn't he?
Sure was.
Y'all can't see the play? Come on, Dana White. Come on, Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yep.
Because this is what it is.
Now, Stormy, was anyone screaming about no Muhammad Ali act in the last 3 years?
No.
Of course
And
not.
they've been breaking and getting around and erasing and stepping over the Muhammad Ali act for a decade or more.
Yep.
What the hell you think Al Heyman been doing for the entire duration of the PBC? An advisor?
An advisor. That's how he got around to it.
Serious?
He changed his job description so he can get. Man, y'all ain't ready for that, man.
I want to thank Al Heyman. 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 Advisor, huh?
See that?
And he wasn't even good at it.
Nope.
Because Prince Charles Martin.
Here we go.
And Deontay Wilder should have fought in-house for unification. If that was Ed Hearn, don't you think AJ and Prince Charles Martin would have unified in-house?
100%.
Would Hearn have advised AJ to go on over there across the street to PBC because, you know, they're going to throw that $9 million at you? If they have it in-house, won't that $9 million get split pretty evenly between the two?
Yep.
You're looking at it right now. When you got, who is that? The welterweight that he got.
Who?
Hearn.
Eddie Hearn, the welterweight.
Yeah. One he won't let fight Devin. Padley.
No. The blonde haired dude. Crocker.
Louis Crocker.
Louis Crocker.
He got Crocker. Now there could be a unification, but Hearn is saying no. He said no. Now, Crocker wants to fight Devin. He knows that that's the biggest purse for him right now. Hearn is saying no. Isn't that against the Muhammad Ali Act?
100%. It's unification.
Virgil Ortiz Jr. wants to fight Boots. Oscar De La Hoya said no. Isn't that against the Muhammad Ali Act?
100%.
You see? Do you see? But they want to point fingers at Dana White. Look at what it is.
Dana White is what boxing deserves right now because of y'all bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, Sion Diz. Let me just entertain you. I saw this question at least twice in the chat and I didn't respond. Who you got if Shakur versus Tank? Then later you say Shakur gets knocked out by Tank. Here's my challenge to you, young man. When Tank gets a fight that's worth us talking about, then we'll talk about it. Fair enough? Until then, he's a woman-beating clown, a closet homosexual, who needs to get right. I will talk about Tank fighting any one of these young people that are, because right now everybody's working. Even Keyshawn is working. Everybody's working. Tank blew $40 million because he can't keep his hands to himself in reference to a woman. And I'm not talking about sexual things in the bedroom. Well, that's a little deep because I heard some things. But he blew a $40 million payday when he was supposed to ride off to the sunset in a clown fight versus Jake Paul. So I'm only going to clown Tank here, young man. I have nothing good to say about him outside the ring or inside the ring. Tank Davis is trash, and he can't beat anybody that's active right now. Okay? And I'm talking about from 135 because, see, let me ask you this. You probably new here. You see these faces right here, young man? He has space and opportunity to fight everybody here. The only person he fought on this list was right there on the lower, in the middle. Lamont Roach, and he fought his ass to a draw. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody here beats Tank, and it's up to Tank to prove me otherwise, because nobody on that list that I just put up ducked Tank. So we're not going to talk about the people that are not doing anything. Let's talk about the guys that put in work. Even Teofimo Lopez has a better resume than Tank Davis. Look it up. And I don't like Teo. He has a better resume. So I don't care about no Tank Davis. I don't care about no one. I don't care about no one-punch power, because he had space and opportunity to one-punch all 15 people. And I left 3 people off of that list I just showed you. C and Diz. Okay? He has space and opportunity.
A better resume too.
Who's that? Who you say?
Kambosos.
Kambosos got a better resume. So all I wanted Tank to ever do was to what? Prove what you guys said he was. I said, great, let's see it. And he didn't do it. All the way up until the end, he didn't do it. He told Shakur, aha, I give it and I take it away. And Shakur said, F it, I'm done with you. Keyshawn said, what's up, yo, little light skin. The Battle of the Davises. Remember that live I did last year? They can only be one with the Highlander theme? I said, go get him. He didn't even look in Keyshawn Davis's direction. The Keyshawn Davis we saw last night, Tank ain't beating that guy. The Shakur we saw last night.
But Tank came out one time and said something complimentary about Keyshawn over Shakur. He said, oh, that other dude, what's his name? Him. He on something. Y'all got a real one there. Didn't he say that?
He sure did. He said that about
Keyshawn.
what you call it? In Atlanta. Brian Norman. Y'all got a real one in Atlanta because Brian beat his ass in sparring. I know about that stuff. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know who we talk to. So let's talk about Tank. With Tank, it's all hypotheticals. Y'all love his hair. Y'all love his tattoos. Y'all love his swag. And y'all into pink coats and lime green purses. I'm not even fucking with y'all with that. Y'all kids are weird. Pink coats, pink fur coats, and lime green purses, and glasses that don't fit your fucking head. And you're drunk half the time. With AB
and braids.
And braids down your back. Okay, I'm good. I'm not even gonna get into that. But all I ever said was great. Prove it. And Tank hasn't done shit. He hasn't done shit. You can root for the things that he has done, but I said, great, what about Devin? Great, what about this guy and that guy? What about Teofimo? What about Loma? Get Loma. Remember when I was like, yo, get Loma. He didn't get him. And I know y'all gonna say, oh, well, Tank, he tried to get Loma. Loma retired. Man, Loma was trying to get him since 2017. What are you talking about? Get him. Get him. Look at Delano. He stopped Frank Martin. Frank Martin was dehydrated. Tell me I'm lying. When I told y'all I called the fucking camp that Frank was working with. The day he got off the scales, I made a phone call. I said, why Frank look like that? And what I tell y'all about these little niggas saying the quiet part out loud? What I tell y'all about that? He said, you look drained. I said, oh shit. I got on the phone. I said, yo, Frank, all right? They was like, nah. I said, oh shit. Yo, tell Tell Tank to get right and fight Frank Martin again, since he like doing rematches with people he beat already. Tell him to fight him at the full 140. See how that fight work out. He's gonna smoke Tank, because the reality is Tank ain't shit. Now I ain't want to talk about Tank. I want to talk about Shakur. You see how this goes left. Now seeing this, you about to get timed out. You about to get timed out. All right, let me explain something to you. We don't talk Ryan Garcia up over here. We don't talk racist cheaters up over here. Ryan was drugged up, overweight, and he's a racist. Now say some more shit about Ryan Garcia. He ain't cooked shit. He cooked up some coke and snorted it with Oscar De La Hoya. And you know what Tank did to Ryan? He put moles in his camp and had his ribs broke up and drained him. That's what he did. Devin did none of that. You want to be overweight? Fuck it. We're fighting. All he said was, yo, let's fight clean. Let's fight clean. And Ryan couldn't even do that. Then he lied about it. Sion, you know, he sent open canisters to a third-party drug testing organization. You know that, right? And they said, yeah, we found Ostarine in it, but the canisters was open when we got them. So he's lying all over the place. And you still want to talk about what Ryan did to Devin? And he didn't cook Devin. In press row, we all had it a draw, but we knew they was going to give it to Ryan because Ryan won the drama of the fight. I scored it a draw with everyone else in press row. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Don't do that shit, bro. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit.
Man,
this is ridiculous. I'm still getting niggas talking about, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Cian Diz, what's your ethnicity? And how old are you? Stop the show. Stop the show. What is your ethnicity and how old are you? You wanted my attention, you got it. You asked me about Tank, I gave you the opinion. Now you bring up Ryan and Devin as if we don't have all the facts with that. You don't know who I talked to. You don't know how involved I was in reference to that situation. Which is why that's one of the things in boxing that pisses me off to no end. So before I go any further, what's your ethnicity and how old are you? You're black and you're 24. Wait a fucking minute. Why on planet Earth are you bringing up Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, especially when you know the outcome in reference to what happened? 24-year-old black man.
Maybe he's not 24, and maybe he's not black. And maybe he's not here no more. Goodbye.
I'll wait. Now you want to talk to me about the left hook? And this is what we get on Black History Month, the first day. You want to talk to me about a fucking drugged up left hook?
I told you to stop doing that shit, brother.
You right.
You
Wrenches, batter him. Beat the shit out of we not doing niggas this year. We don't do niggas this year. So congratulations. Black History Month, you getting this.
Yeah, come on! Yeah, man, come on!
that's the name of that tune. Y'all too young for that. Beretta, 205 Entertainment and more. The Strong House for 5 months, man. Salute to you, good brother. Much love and appreciation. Let's get down to the business. When I talk about liars, this is what I'm talking about. When I spoke to Keyshawn, this is the conversation we had.
Keyshawn Davis, man, salute to you, good brother. What's next for you, King?
Shit. Here with my brother Shakur, man, support him.
That's right, that's right.
That's all I'm doing.
Now, I already asked you a second ago, I'm gonna ask you again. What happened with Richards and Hitchens on his end?
What you mean, what happened?
Like, the word was y'all was supposed to meet up and he declined it. So what did you hear about that?
For my honest opinion, bro, I don't be on social media, bro, so I don't know nothing about that, honestly. So if that's the case, then shit, that's the case.
Yeah, because that's what the word was. They were trying to make that fight to put you on the undercard hit.
Yeah,
Well, such is life, man. Salute to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, no doubt, no doubt.
Follow me. I ain't saying. Oh, y'all chill, son.
We're gonna make the big fight. We hyped
That's what I was talking about.
This is what we need. This is what we need, right?
There were talks about this fight for January 31st. This is a big.
That's
fight,
what I was talking
big
about.
Money fight that can stand on its own. But you know,
That's respect.
Hitchens is looking a bit big.
Now, why that boy had to lie to me, man? Why that boy had to go and lie to me, man? There was no reason for that.
That's who he is.
And this is why I have trust issues.
That's why you can't get 100% behind guys like that.
Exactly. I asked him a very simple question. That boy ain't had to do that. He had to do that.
See, you don't even have the maturity to be able to say something like, well, these are some things I can't really talk about at this time.
That's all he had to say. And I'd have left it alone. That's all he had to say. But he can't even do that. He can't even do that. And why I gotta get on my own fucking show and play special teams prevent? What is wrong with you knuckle draggers? What's the matter with y'all? Yeah, okay, listen.
You know what's the matter? I'm gonna tell you. The lack of holding them accountable
That's what it is.
and being too accepting. I don't do that shit. I hold people accountable because whatever I'm capable of doing and standing in my merit, I expect the same from the other. And if you can't, I can't fool with you. It's that simple. You have to draw boundaries. There are no more boundaries in our society, which is why people just walk over everybody.
Yep.
When are you going to get tired of people leaving footprints? See, I can't do that. That's why I say it. And that guy, he been trying to take your show sideways since he first wrote in the chat.
First showed up. I know.
And I got sick of it, and I just said, man, what are we doing here? Seriously. Because you had a different conversation going before showing him attention.
See that? I hope y'all saw that. I hope y'all saw that. So he got what he was asking for. Hope y'all paid attention. We're talking about fighters. We had a great event last night. Boxing won last night. And Tank is trying to fight not to go to jail. Why the fuck are we talking about Tank Davis? Talk to me when he beats his case, if he beats his case and he signs to fight his next fight. Give me something to talk about other than him beating the shit out of strippers or whatever he got going on. Jumping into bed with men, hugging Diddy or whatever the fuck he's doing. I don't want to talk about it unless he's signed to have a fight against someone I want to talk about, not named Jake Paul. Now, getting back on task. I put up the poll. Everyone said Devin. Great. Devin's at 47. You go to fucking Shakur, he told my weight restrictions. There goes that. You think Devin is gonna budge and meet someone halfway? Who the fuck is Shakur at this point in comparison to Devin? He was supposed to beat Teofimo. It's only Teofimo. Get out of here, man. What do y'all
And
want? Yeah, go ahead.
to show the difference, Devin moves up to welterweight, and in his first welterweight fight, he takes on the man at welterweight.
The hard punching champion in Brian Orman Jr.
Now, check this out. Teo may have had a title and the Ring Magazine belt, but he wasn't the man.
Nope.
Who's the man at 140? Before Teo beats before Shakur beats Teo last night.
Man at 140. Well, I'd have said it was Shakur.
No. There's other titles. Teo only had one belt.
Uh-huh.
He had the Ring Magazine and the WBO.
Wait, Hitchens?
Hitchens got one.
Yeah.
Mason's got one.
Abdullah Mason got the other, right? And
Who's got the other?
Matala.
Huh?
You said Ray Matala got the Ray Matala got the other one.
Ray Matala got one, and then there's one more belt. Remember, there's 4.
Why am I having a brain fart? So it's Matala, Hitchens, Shakur. Well, Shakur now. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm bugging. Wait, Superdale just got his head knocked off. And Abdullah Mason's at 35. Wait a minute. I'm bugging. Pardon me, y'all. Hold on a minute. Let me go to the rankings. If this goddamn thing would move. Good Lord. I'm sorry. Give me a second, y'all. Fuck. Come on, man. Let's go to the rankings.
Got the WBA.
Oh, Gary Anton. Gary Anton.
Okay. So you can plainly see that Teo wasn't the man.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we got some motion at 140. We got
Who would have been the better fighter for him to face in his first fight if he was emulating what Devin did?
It would have been Gary Anton.
There you go.
Real shit. Yep. Yep. Okay, well, Gary Anton likes to talk about shit he not doing. So now he's surrounded. Where is Gary Anton's pursuit to become an undisputed at 140? Where's that?
There is none.
Okay, and that's why I got a problem with him.
And that's why I said what I said when we opened your show.
Yep. All that talent in that Russell family, all of those brothers is really, they're good brothers, but I don't see them smashing the gas on everybody, but meanwhile, they talking. How good is Gary Anton? I don't know. Can he show me, please? That's all I'm saying. Show me. He got a lot of shit to talk about people he ain't never gonna fight. You got all this shit to talk about Devin Haney. Everyone talking about Devin. Devin's at 147. Who's going to get the smoke? There's a list. There's a list. What's up? There's a list, goddammit. And as a matter of fact, Isak is the interim champion. Dalton Smith is a champion. Okay, here's what we do. If Isak's not running it back with Lamont Roach right away, Isak kept his belt. He need to run it with Dalton Smith. The winner of that gets the winner of Richardson Hitchens and Gary Anton Russell. Then the winner of that needs to be fighting Shakur. In the meantime, to stay busy, Shakur need to be fighting Keyshawn Davis. What did I say wrong, y'all? What did I say wrong? What did I say wrong? Now, if there's one face, one name, that's what we're doing. But everything that I just said, under Zuffa?
You know what people need to say to Shakur every time he starts talking about he's the best fighter? He needs to be immediately hit with, no, you're not. And then, well, who else? You're not the best until you beat Keyshawn.
There you go. Because I'm seeing people saying Keyshawn had stole the show last night. Keyshawn better than Shakur. There's no excuse for them not to be fighting. Delano, Anton Russell's not fighting Norman Jr. Norman Jr. is a welterweight fighter. What are you talking about? Look, I don't know if you related to them or you grew up next to them or you just infatuated. I get it. But what I just said needs to happen at 40. Everybody at 140 need to keep Devin's name out their mouth. Devin's a welterweight. These are junior welterweights. I want Russell versus Hitchens. The winner of that gets the winner of Isak Cruz and Dalton Smith. Right there, boom. Those are unifications right there. Those winners gets the winner between Shakur and Keyshawn. There needs to be a tournament right now. That's how you solve the problem. And you can do that in 2026. All of these fights can happen. And then whoever wins from that can go up to meet Devin. What's the problem? Don't y'all always say, you all right, you remember all the fans of Mellow Yellow used to say, why Tank gotta fight everybody? Everybody needs to be fighting each other. Well, watch this. Y'all niggas need to be fighting each other because y'all not welterweights. What you talking about here? Again, y'all want Shakur to fight Devin, but he called Conor fucking Ben into the ring. He ain't called Devin. So what you want is not what your man is giving you. Don't blame me. Exactly, coach. Run that Super 6. Andre Ward was in it. Yo, listen, you want to know how much of a thug? And you know I had my beef with Andre Ward over the things he said, but I never said he wasn't a dog. Andre Ward was in a tournament, and let me ask y'all a question. How the fuck do you train for that style of tournament when you don't know who you're fighting? How you train for that? He's training for, I don't know. No, Tavares Cloud wasn't in that tournament. He's training for Ghost Dog. And he loses. Now he's fighting the German dude. What was his name? Began with a K. Keller, forgot his name. He ain't know who the fuck. You don't know who you're fighting. You got to be nice. You have the fighter with the best boxing IQ won. He's fighting Carl Froch. Mikkel Kessler, that's his name. Thank you. Andre Ward was a Hall of Famer as soon as that fucking tournament was over. And still, that wasn't enough. Thank you. Arthur Abraham was an absolute nightmare. Jermaine Taylor. You don't know who the fuck you was fighting in that tournament. And Ward won it. I don't see, if there's a tournament like that and you said, Devin, you got to run that gauntlet. Devin be like, cool. And he in the gym. What are your fighters doing? Oh, I'll fight that guy, but he got to have a weight clause, and I ain't going to fight. He can't, on fight night, he can't be past 142. This is what Shakur's doing. How about this? You're a full-fledged junior welterweight. Stay there. Dominate. Run that gauntlet. And these are things, what I just said right now, these are things that Dana White is going to do. I'm going to word it for you again because this is what should be happening, y'all. There are 4 champions. 5, actually. The WBC has to work it out. Here's what I want since Shakur just beat, convincingly, Teofimo Lopez. Dalton Smith is a WBC champion. Isak is an interim. They need to fight and work that out. In the meantime, Gary Anton Russell and Richardson Hitchens, IBF versus WBA, they need to have a unification fight. While that's happening, Shakur, who's a WBO champion, should fight his number 1 at Keyshawn Davis. Because he's ranked number 1. I'm looking right at it. Don't give me that brother shit. While that's happening, you're going to have a winner between Hitchens and Russell. Whoever wins that could face the winner between Smith and Cruz. Work that out. Whoever wins that is going to fight the winner between Davis and Stevenson. What the fuck did I say wrong? Not a goddamn thing. But you know what? If you have a favorite fighter, you're scared. You're scared. Devin ain't on that type of time. You run that past Devin Haney, he's with the shits. Your mans ain't. Yeah, exactly. And Delano, you're making my point. This is why I want Dana White to come through and shut shit down. I'm going to read it how you wrote it. Richard is going to duck Gary. You know that, and I do. I don't know. But you know what? If Dana White gets a hold of everything and says, no, y'all fighting, and if Richardson says no, all right, get out of here with that stupid-ass belt. We making fights here. You could pay sanctioning fees on the belt and not fight your contemporaries. You could fight on Zuffa. Next. And I know you hiring Gary Anton, but he's just talking. I don't see no work. And by the way, don't he have to get a fight back in blood? Uh-oh. What happened? Who beat him? Puello? Didn't Puello beat him? Was that Puello that beat him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened? Don't he got to run that back? While we're trying to work this bullshit out, don't he got to run that back? Come on, man. Floyd Mayweather had to run 2 fights back that were close. And he didn't even lose those shits. Stop it. Stop it. Run that tournament at 140. And whoever comes out on top at the end of 2026, then go up and fight Devin if Devin is still there. If he's too big, he might be at 54 by the time y'all dumbasses sort this bullshit out, man. Y'all got to stop being pussies, man. Devin's a dog. There's a list. And your favorite fighter's on that list. You know what's outstanding? Devin is what you want your favorite fighter to be. And Devin is that A-side. Devin is that money man. And your fighter is on that list. And your fighter is not at 147. Your fighter is asking for a catch weight. Your fighter did call out somebody at welterweight, but that person was a British dude with blonde hair last night. With the Hulk brow. You saw how big his forehead was? I'm telling you, that dude was on some bullshit. I'm telling you. I almost said STDs. Certain PEDs makes your skull grow. If an STD make your skull grow, you're going to die, nigga.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I hate boxing, but I love boxing. And boxing don't love me back, and I'm cool with it. I'm still here. I'm a battered fucking spouse, and I love it. But I ain't gonna long stroke y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. See y'all in the AM. I'm just gonna fry Teofimo Lopez all morning for about an hour and a half. Stormy, let them know they can find you, good brother.
They can find me right here on Zuffa watching these damn fights. Because I'm going to tell you something. All that other stuff is just
fluff.
It's just sewer water. That's it. But yeah, I'm right here on YouTube. Stormy B-Man is the channel. Stormy B-Man in all caps, but no cap.
Man, salute to y'all. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat, man. Y'all catch me in the AM. Y'all follow me on Patreon. And y'all follow both of us on, and me, Junior the Truth, Stormy, Coach Hudson, we all on Rumble. And we gets the rumbling over there. Because we can play the music we want, and we just don't give a F over there. You know what I'm saying? Because over here, YouTube be on some...
shit.
Yeah, straight up and down. God damn it. Shout out to Chuck Norris. for no goddamn reason, man. It's our month, man. It's Black History Month every month, man. Salute to y'all, man. Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.